Hello, back again. This time we're going to demonstrate actually making a walking and safe talking stick. I have in front of me the raw materials that we need: a stick, an end cap, some tape, the wooden blocks that can be put on the ends to make a sign. I've got a saw, I've got a sanding block here, I've got a measuring tool, everything that we're going to need. So let's get to work and see how easy it is to make a walking and safe talking stick. The first thing we do is we take our 6-foot-long stick and we're going to install an end cap on the end. The cap won't actually fit perfectly with that long tip on it, so we have to cut a piece off of the tip. With all of the work that we do, we want to clamp it in place. So we apply a clamp to our part in order to hold it firmly in place. And we put on a pair of protective glasses, either eyeglasses or some glasses that you've purchased. We're going to measure. I can use this little T-square to measure with. We're going to measure 1 inch back and make a mark. And we're going to make a straight line right across that mark, so we know exactly where we're going to cut. All right. Now we've marked our part. We've anchored it. So then what we're going to do is we're going to saw with our coping saw. First step is to draw it carefully back and forth like this. And then that will create a straight line, and then you start to saw. If you rotate the saw slightly as you cut, you'll find that it moves right through the material very easily and very quickly. Just like that. And there's a tip that we've cut off that's on the floor. This is it right here. So now we've removed the end, making it possible for us to put the cap on. Now we slide the cap over slightly onto the stick and loosen it up, because we can never force it all the way on with our hands. So we simply take it and we pound it on the ground. And that anchors the cap on. It won't come off. I've never even had to glue them. They just stay there all the time. All right? That's the first step. We've taken care of that. Second step, we need to create a handhold. This is one of the sticks. It's a finished stick, and as you can see, there's a handhold on here. I determined when standing up that I wanted a handhold that I measured to be exactly 4 feet at the center from the floor. You may choose to have it 3 feet or 3.5 feet, or maybe some people would like it even higher than that. Let's assume 4 feet to the center is going to be the mount that we're going to use, all right? So we will take our measuring tape and we'll hold it out here, and we will make a mark at 48 inches, which is 4 feet. All right, that mark will be the center of the handhold on this new walking and safe talking stick. But we want to have some space on either side of the center of that. How much space do we need? We want 3 inches each way. So we'll put our tape measure here at 3 inches on the center point and mark the 0 and the 6. All right, that tells us where we're going to create the handhold. And in order to make sure it's cleanly seen, we will actually use a T-square to mark that space. And because we want to see it all the way around, we'll mark it on each side. So now we've marked the space where we're going to create the handhold. And the handhold, we need to knock these sharp edges down so they're smooth, because grabbing a hold of something that has those sharp edges just isn't comfortable. All right? How are we going to knock these edges off? We're going to use a piece of sandpaper and our sanding block. But first, we want to do, same thing, anchor our part so it stays stable. So that's what we do. We anchor it in place. Nice and stable. All right? Then we will begin to sand with our sanding block. And we will sand all across the stick from one mark to the next. And we'll actually break the edge by rotating our sanding block slightly as we go around that edge. Now we can feel our edge and see if it's smooth enough. If we're not happy with it, we can sand it just a little bit more. That's in fact enough sanding to make it round. Round enough to be smooth rather than sharp. We rotate the part, tighten our clamp, do it again. And that's the fourth side. That only took a couple minutes to do. And we're done. We've created an area that's smooth enough and easy enough to grab hold of, not sharp like the regular stick is. That's all it takes to complete step number 2, creating a handhold. Number 3, we're going to wrap the handhold with tape. That will give it a little extra protection. And we have the marks here clearly seen. So now what we need to do to wrap them with tape, I'll get our sign out here so we can see it a little bit more clearly. We take yellow tape. I'm using yellow, you can use any color you want. And we will start wrapping just above, about a half of a width of the tape above the line. And we will wrap the tape all the way around, being sure to press down on it so it sticks. And we want to make 2 full wraps of our tape. Let me get rid of this sawdust. Okay, we've gone around it twice. And now we will start to turn it. We just angle it a little bit, and angle it a little bit more, and angle it a little bit more, and overlapping each rotation, well, maybe a half or less of the width of the tape. And it goes relatively quickly, as you can see. As we wrap in an angle and overlap slightly, we work our way all the way down to the other mark, which is 6 inches away. We measured it from the center point, 3 inches each direction. And when we get past the mark, we turn and make it go straight around the stick for 2 full revolutions. So we come down part way, take some scissors, cut our tape, and smooth it out. And now our stick is wrapped. All right? There's only one more thing for us to do. That's to put wooden blocks, which we have cut before. Remember, we said to take and get an extra piece of this. You can buy another stake if you wish, less than 6 feet long, and cut it into 3-inch lengths. What we want to do is glue these 3-inch lengths at a certain spot on the top. Where is that spot? Well, I like to come down 10 inches from the top, and that'll be the top of where we put the sign. All right, so make a mark at 10 inches, all right, so I can see it. Now I'll take a paper towel before I glue, because the glue gets all over the place, and put it down on the table. Oh, wait a minute. We've done number 3. We're on number 4 now, over there. Okay? And we will take and we will lay the strips of wood right against. Now rotate them once to see which one side makes it feel more smooth, and it does a little bit more on one side than the other. There we go. Now rotate the 2 pieces back slightly, open up your glue, and spread a little bit of glue on that surface, each surface. All right, we spread the glue, then we rotate the piece back, and we kind of rub it around so that the glue gets distributed all over the piece. The same thing over here, rub it around a little bit. If the glue comes pushing out, that's okay, it's not a problem. When we get it pretty much in place, then we take another clamp and we start to clamp it together, but we only clamp it gently to start with, because we may have to move, here you see I got them wrong, we may have to move the positioning of the pieces to get them where we want them to be, okay? And then second, we want to get them even, but there's a bunch of extra glue coming out. So let's take a cloth, a paper towel really, and wipe it off, okay? So it doesn't get all over us. It's water-soluble glue that we're using, so that will be easy to clean up. And now we're ready to wait a couple of hours until that dries, and we will have a place to put a sign. That is the 4th step in making the stick, and as a matter of fact, we're done. This is all it takes to make a Walkin and Safe Talkin Stick, and we need to wait a little bit before we put a sign on. What we've done, however, is we've taken off the website a page that has some printing on it. In this case, this is my Walkin and Safe Talkin Stick, and we printed it on a thick paper. I don't know if you have some cardstock in your, and you have a printer. You may not have a printer. If you don't, you can go over to Kinko's or FedEx and have them printed on a piece of cardstock, just this one page, taken right off the website, and it will say, this is my Walkin and Safe Talkin Stick, or you can take and edit the copy to say anything you want to say. We'll give you some suggestions of various things to say. This is one of those tags that we've cut from that cardboard sheet, and we're planning to set it right in place on top. In fact, we'll put it on top right now, because as this hardens and dries, we will also let our sign be drying as well. So we use some of the same glue, and we put it underneath on the stick, and then we rub and squeeze our sign, put it in place, wipe off the excess if it comes out a little bit, and there we go. We've got our sign for our Walkin and Safe Talkin Stick, and it will dry. Just tap the edges just a little bit to make sure it stays down. We'll want to curl up, but that's okay. And we're done. How about that? Have fun making your Walkin and Safe Talkin Sticks. This is all there is to it.